I grew up here in New York City. My parents were both Irish born. They were immigrants. My father was a New York City policeman. He was a detective at the time of his death. He died young. He was only 42. I was 8. I have a younger brother who just turned 5 when my father died. My mother went out to work. She worked as a waitress until her early 70s. Part of being in New York is I know it well enough to be able to get around. And I take for granted, I guess, that friends can be from all sorts of different backgrounds. I've been here long and I talk to everybody. There's a barber I see from time to time. He's from the Dominican Republic. He and I kind of buddies. Across the street at the candy store here in New York. One of my buddies is starting Ramadan, so I asked him to pray for me. He said he would. Today on the street, because I often wear my collar, a young woman stopped me. She was on her bike. She stopped the bike. And she said, "You must say a prayer for me now. I need your prayer." So I did, put my hand over and called the Holy Spirit down upon her. And I have never gotten negative feedback. And I've gotten more positive feedback too. And then sometimes in the spring when it's a little nicer, people will be sitting out at tables. They're waving to me and stuff. Technically, I am in senior ministry, but what I do is work at a neighboring parish right now. Holy Cross Parish, which is on 42nd Street. It goes back to the 1850s. I go there 3 times a week, and sometimes a little more. And I started a young adult group, and it was almost a miracle to start it. I asked at masses, if you are in your 20s or 30s and want to meet other people in your 20s and 30s, let me know. And just with saying that at 2 or 3 masses, 20 people came to our first meeting. As I said, I grew up here in New York City at a parish the Paulist Fathers used to run at the very northern end of Manhattan Island. It was associating with them that I felt I would like to do what they do. I filled out an application. I was very young. I was 13. We ran a seminary high school in those days, and I went bag and baggage to the seminary high school in Baltimore, Maryland. And I did 4 years of high school, and then there was 2 years of college, a year of novitiate, and then 6 years of studies in Washington, D.C. And the whole process began in 1957, and I was ordained a priest in 1970, the 7th of March, 1970. When I was ordained, I was first sent to do campus ministry at UCLA. I had just turned 26 when I was ordained a priest. And I found that experience probably a bit intimidating to be dealing with my people almost my own age. And I was a priest and expected to have certain skills. But I met the task, I think met the challenge. My best gift is preaching. I hope I have improved over the years, but I spent a lot of time. I still do. When I preach on a Sunday, I usually put the gospel text here in my upper pocket, so it's close to my heart. And I spend 8 or 10 hours a week still trying to get a homily together for Sunday. And I write them out. Every single Sunday homily I ever gave is written out. And I do want to say a word of gratitude to Father John Gainey. He is a Paulist father. He taught me preaching. He was a great gift to me in honing my preaching. And I'm very, very grateful to him. And then I went to Austin, Texas. I loved Texas, its people. I loved the parish. I loved everything about it. From there, I would go as pastor and director to Columbus, Ohio. Now I was ordained about 15 years. I always wanted to join our preaching apostolate. So I moved here to New York City in 1985 and began both working here at the parish, that was the deal at the time, and doing parish missions. So I did missions until really I retired. And also I had great fun doing a project sponsored by Busted Halo called You Don't Know Jack. It involved me going out on the street with a little crew asking people questions about the church, really.
What is something you consider worth waiting for?
They were just a lot of fun. We'd stop all sorts of people, whether we never knew if they were Catholic or not. What surprised me the most was how cooperative people were. Another project that I started, and this one I started with Father James Lloyd, right before the pandemic, we'd go out on the street, ask people if they had epiphany moments that really kind of woke them up. And we wanted to show how, in those moments, the experience of the presence of God was being revealed. I remember thinking at a wedding once and preparing a homily for a wedding, that people fall in love. And somehow it dawned on me, you don't fall in love, you're tripped. And I think the person who does the tripping is God. That's how I fell into the priesthood. I tripped into it. And the Paulists have surrounded me with protection, with a place to constantly come back to work out my ministry. I don't think I particularly pursued it. There was no one who asked me if I wanted to be a priest, but I've stumbled through it and I've never fallen out of it.